all of you. It is our pleasure to welcome you all to the SME IPO Conclave, organized by the Federation of Telangana Chambers of Commerce with the support of our merchant banking partner, Unistone Capital Private Limited, exchange partner, National Stock Exchange, industry partner, Bondada Engineering Limited, Shrivari Spices and Food Limited, ecosystem partner, ICICI Bank. The evening is set to be filled with insightful discussions and valuable perspectives from distinguished speakers gathered here today. Before the beginning of the conclave, we would like to show a short film of FTCCI.
1917, the year when a dedicated organization, the Deccan Chamber of Commerce, was formed to encourage trade and commerce activities. The historical journey of the organization has witnessed great transformation as per the changing needs of the industry and businesses. The Federation of Telangana Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FTCCI, a legacy of excellence, voice of the industry, representing interests of over 25,000 businesses of all sizes, sectors and regions, is empowering industry and trade of Telangana state. A world leader in pharma, a global hub for vaccine, home to all major MNCs, leader in IT exports, and emerging first stop of India. FTCCI advocates a pro-business environment, caters to the needs of MSMEs, budding entrepreneurs and traders through its advisory services in taxation, market information, industry-related issues, B2B connection. The Chamber has its nominees in the state-level advisory committees to help drive business productivity. FTCCI aids in providing certificate of origin for exporters, issues visa recommendation for business travels. The Federation imparts job skills through its dedicated skill center. It has adopted 14 government ITIs to improve the employability of students. With a uniquely global perspective, the FTCCI events reach a highly engaged audience, policymakers and stakeholders aiming towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. Come and be a part of this dynamic and proactive organization. Together, let's realize the vision for a progressive future.
Now we request our President Sir, Sri Meela Jaydev Sir, Suresh Singhal ji and Maheshwari Sir to please join along with Brijesh Parekh ji and Farooq ji and Jayesh Tauri ji for the BVH Hari Prasad Sir, Raghvendra Rao Bondada Sir and Narayan Das ji and PS Rao ji to please join us for the lighting of the lamp. We further request our President to welcome Shri Brijesh Parekh ji. We're having a Now I invite President FTCCI Meela Jaidev sir to give welcome address.
A very happy good afternoon to all. I thank you very much for coming to here for IPO MSME. I welcome all the designators of the dais, including Farooq is not at comes till now, Chairman and Managing Director KP Group for him, and Brijesh Parekh sir, Director Unistone Capital Private Limited, and Jayesh Tarari, Assistant Vice President, B.V. Hari Prasad, and Raghavendra Ragaru, and Managing Director, Bundla Engineering, Narayan Das Rathi, Managing Director, Sirvi Spices and Foods Private Limited, Krishna Kumar Maheshwari, Capital Markets Investment Protection Committee, and FTCCI Dynamic Team and Capital Market Committee Chairman, and Suresh Kumar Singalji, Senior Vice President, and all the participants and SME IPO Conclave. As we have gathered here today, it's essential to reflect on the remarkable journey of SME IPO post its launch in 2012. The statistics reveal that is over 1858 SME companies have got the listed on both NSE and BSE. It is learned that about the 139 SME have got listed and raised nearly 3,500 crores in 2023 only. Alongside these, we have also witnessed that number of SMEs have also created wealth for investors with good listing gains and getting listed. It's to know that regularly bodies, including SEBI and exchanges, are closely working with the market intermediates, industry associations like our various state governments for identifying more eligible SME to get the listed and ensuring the fair practices to protect the interests of investors. Despite a remarkable success SME IPO in the country, it's surprising to know that just have 15 companies from Telangana only. But we have to increase more from Telangana has been listed, recognizing this main goal of Conclave is empower SME Hyderabad go to public. Our mission to provide them with the knowledge, insights, resources and support they have needed, succeeded to capital markets. When the Indian economy is providing with us such good environmental, we should come forward and take the challenges. It would also urge the new and dynamic government of Telangana to provide assistance for listing and raising money SME stock exchanges in the case of the states. One of the states currently giving the maximum subsidy, rupees 30 lakhs as a assistance for listing for raising money of SME through stock exchanges. To conclude, we encourage all participants to actively engage the discussions and contribute in shaping for future SME and capital markets. I thank you very much for all have the inseparable collaborative conclave. I thank you very much, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for setting the tone. Now I invite Sri Krishna Kumar Maheshwari ji, Chair, Capital Market and Investor Protection Committee, to give the introductory remark.
Yeah, good evening to all of you. As warm welcome to Shri Brijesh Parekh, Director Unistone Capital Private Limited, Mr. Jayesh Tauri, Associate Vice President, National Stock Exchange, B.V. Hariprasad, CEO, Wise Money, all the entrepreneurs who have come over here for this SME conclave, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, before I just want to know how many people over here invest in the capital market? Everybody? Everybody invests. And how many people invest in IPO? All of you. And how many people have made money in the IPO? I think everybody. I think we have had around 169 SME IPO in the year 2023, 58 main bourse IPOs in 2023, raising around 60,000 crores successfully, and this is going on. Is this a bubble, or is it going to continue? Is something which comes to the mind of all of us. With the Indian economy growing in the July-September quarter at 7.6%, which is the highest percentage in the world in terms of growth of an economy, the elections that have taken place in the state, wherein the BJP has been able to ascertain their majority and ascertain their strongholdness, it only suggests that, the elections that are going to be held, the Lok Sabha elections, are also likely to be having the same trend and giving us a sense of confidence that probably the government is likely to continue and if the government is likely to continue, the development activities that have been started by BJP will continue. Now, one important thing that troubles our economy is the crude. And crude now at $75 per barrel is something which is in our control, and it is helpful for our economy. We just had a meeting, Fed meeting, and Fed has also indicated that from the year 2024 onwards, there is going to be a reduced interest rate or decrease in the interest rate cycle. China plus one story is already there, wherein it is panning out very well. Now, with all these positive factors that are there, I only feel that the Indian economy is doing very well, the capital markets are doing very well, and the IPO market will continue to flourish. So this is no misnomer. I think the trend wherein people are able to tap the capital market and are successfully able to collect money, this process will continue. And for all the entrepreneurs who have assembled over here, I feel this is the best time when you should come with an IPO and tap the capital market, take the benefit of the capital market. The Indian capital market has matured very well over the years, and this is the right time when I feel all of you who are eligible to come with an IPO should tap the IPO and take the most or maximum benefit of this rally. One more thing which is very, very positive is for the last couple of years, we are all talking about startups. Startups are doing very well. They're able to raise a lot of money. And, well, the amount of flow in the startup has reduced, but the amount of flow in the capital market has increased tremendously. And you should all take advantage of this flow of capital into the capital market, especially in the IPO segment. Now, for all this, SEBI has been playing a very, very important role to also ensure that the IPO market is doing well. If you remember, a couple of years back, it used to take around 15 days when an IPO was closed and the listing did happen. That was reduced to 7 days. Now it is 3 days. So in case you are having money in the bank and you say, "Ki, my money is getting blocked only for 3 days, and I think I should apply for an IPO because there is a fast turnaround." Yes, in 3 days, your money will come back to you in case you're not allotted. And in case you are allotted, you will be given the shares. And not only that, now in the secondary market, it only takes 1 working day for you to encash your portfolio or investment. So if you have got an allotment today, you can sell the shares today, and you will get your money in your bank account the next working day. So the cycle, which used to be close to 20 days, has now come down to 4 days, which is very, very good for the capital market and for all the investors who are over here. And this is one very important reasons that we see a lot of money going into the IPO market, and people also applying in the IPO market and also encashing the listing profits that they are able to earn. So on this SME IPO, we today have with us Mr. Brijesh Parekh. He not only is a merchant banker dealing in SME IPOs, he also does a main bourse IPO. We have Mr. Jayesh Tori also, who is the Associate Vice President, NSE, and he will be talking to you on the compliance part and the listing part of the IPOs. And we have experts with us in the form of Mr. Hari Prasad from Vice Money, who will talk to you. And I'm sure this session is going to be very interesting. Not only very interesting, it is going to be very motivating for all of you who have assembled over here to take this opportunity to understand the size of your business and plan an IPO. In case you're not ready for an IPO, you will understand what is required you will understand what is required to ensure that you can go for an IPO, get prepared, go to the market, collect the money, and I'm sure you will enjoy this session. And also, we look forward for many, many IPOs to come from the state of Telangana and from the people and audience who have gathered over here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for setting the theme for SME IPO Conclave today. Now we request Kripaniwas Sharma ji, co-chair of the Capital Market Investor Protection Committee, to introduce the special guest, Shri Brijesh Parekh ji.
Thank you, Lokesh. Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Brijesh Parekh ji. He is the founder of Unistone Capital with over 2 decades of experience into the capital markets and fund management. He is seasoned expert in IPOs, takeovers, business valuations, etc. At Unistone, he navigates clients through fundraising for and pre-IPO placements, demonstrating a strategic approach to the nurturing of companies from inception to next level. Now I request you to please deliver your speech, sir. Thank you.
Guests, good evening, and thank you so much for your presence. I would like to thank senior team member of Federation of Telangana, Jaidev ji, Singhal ji, Maheshwari ji, and Assistant Vice President of National Stock Exchange, Mr. Jayesh Tori ji, and apna Hari Prasad ji from Wise Money. So sir, it's a great pleasure to introduce myself, Brijesh Parekh, founder director of Unistone Capital Private Limited. So we are SEBI registered category 1 merchant banker, mainly into fundraising for the emerging corporates. So we are helping the organization from pre-IPO and IPO money, institutional placement, etc. So I still remember early days of 90s where issue of Infosys got devolved. From thereafter, we have seen a huge market rally, and India is always had a huge potential for the fundraising. Dhirubhai Ambani once told that whenever you get the money as a promoter, so you should opt for that, and whenever you get good people, good talent, so you should hire them. So this is the right time for the entrepreneur as well as the investor to go for the market. And after this lockdown, after Corona, we have seen huge capital expenditure is done by the promoters, as well as this aggressiveness has improved drastically. So this is the best time to go for market, and India is a huge potential. I think so. We are now 4th largest economy, and Modi ji has promised for the 5 trillion economy. So I think so. It's very nearby, and for every stage of the growth, entrepreneur needs capital, whether debt or equity. So companies like Page Industry, Astral, they have entered at very early stage. They never thought that my valuation will increase later on. So there is always a good time and good market to raise the fund. That's all, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your special address. Before going ahead with the program, I would request our President, sir, to please welcome Dr. Farooq Ji Patel. Now we request Dr. RMCV Prasad Rao, co-chair of Capital Market Investor Protection Committee, to introduce our special guest, Dr. Farooq Ji Patel.
Good evening to you. Farooq Ji Patel. I take this opportunity to introduce the keynote speaker for the SME IPO Conclave. Dr. Farooq Ji Patel is the chairman and MD of KP Group. He is visionary leader in telecom infrastructure development, with a journey that began in 1994 as a logistics service provider. Dr. Patel has transformed the group into powerhouse with cutting-edge fabrication facilities and a 50 megawatt solar power plant named Solarism. His leadership emphasizes investor confidence, best management practices, stakeholder relationships, and delivering quality products and services at competitive prices. We welcome him, sir. I request him to deliver his keynote address. Dr. Ji Parekh Patel.
Very good evening to all of you. Thank you very much. The people who are on a dais, people who are off the dais. It's my pleasure to be here with you. You've given me the opportunity to speak something within 5 minutes, which is not possible because the SME platform, what they have given to us is that much lot. We cannot speak within 5 minutes, sir. But still I'm trying to say something about how we came into the SME IPO. Only few things I want to elaborate here. One is in 2016, our one company called KP Energy came in the IPO with the 27 crore of market cap. At that time, our revenue was 43 crore and PAT was 5 crore rupees. Today, that same company is on 1400 crores and the revenue is 400 plus and the PAT is 43 crore rupees. At the same time, our second company we have came with in 2019 January with the 127 crore rupees of market cap. Same situation, same thing happened in that company. 43 crore was the revenue and bottom was the, I think, 9 crore rupees. Today, that KPI Green Energy company with the market cap of 4,700 crore rupees and revenue is 645 as on 31st March 23 and the PAT was 109. I tried to convey something to the SME player or the new entrepreneurs that this is a very good platform but NSE and BSE has given to us to show your company in a market. Otherwise, there is so many people who are in the market who are doing the very good work for the nation, for the family, for the society. But they are not visualizing themselves. This is the good platform where we can visualize ourselves to the public, to the investor. Of course, there is some regulation are there, but at the same time, if someone is not taking your exam, no one will read. So this is the thing कि हमको कोई ना कोई पूछने वाला रहेगा तो ही हम कुछ कर पाएंगे और ये मेरा बिलीफ है और मैं गारंटी के साथ कहता हूँ कि ये बहुत ही अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है जो हमको प्रोवाइड किया गया है. अदरवाइज़ मैं अक्सर कहता हूँ साहब लोग कि जंगल में मोर नाचा किसने देखा. दिस पीपल स्पेशली NSC and BSc people are trying to show us in front of the public that this is the more, ये कला कर सकता है और आपको अच्छा दिखा भी सकता है. So let me conclude my speech here because 5 minutes, as I told you, so many things I have got from this platform, from the IPO, SME IPO platform. Now both company are on a main board, and similarly I am guiding to my nearest and dearest here, Bondada, and you have seen last 3 months ago, that BEL came on a platform, on a SME platform. At that time he had a reservation, but today you see within 3 months he crossed the 1,000 crore rupees. So this is the real story. And this is a real success stories here. You can see and you can watch and you can guide to the people who wants to come in this border. I request all of them, please come. ये बहुत ही अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म है इंडिया के लिए भी और हमारे लिए भी, फैमिली के लिए भी, और अच्छा फ्लरिश हो सकते हैं हम यहाँ से. बस यही कहूँगा. थैंक यू वेरी मच. यू हैव लिसन मी क्वाइटली एंड थैंक यू. यू कॉल मी अप ऑन अ स्टेज एंड गिवन मी द चांस टू स्पीक समथिंग. थैंक यू. बाय बाय.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your keynote address. Now we shall begin the panel session, and during the course of the panel session, we'll go ahead with the course of the action. Let's see. Now we shall now proceed to have the panel session to deep dive into the subject. We request our moderator, Shri Krishna Kumar Maheshwari ji, to go ahead with the session, sir. So, So we'll be having a little bit of change of. Request the President sir, Suresh sir and Sri Farooq ji to please have a seat, sir. And we'll go for the first panel session and thereafter followed by the second panel session. So they'll just change the. So now request you to please welcome B.V. Hari Prasad sir. Now I invite Sri Kripa Nivas sir to introduce our esteemed moderator and speaker for the upcoming panel session on the myths and realities of SME IPO.
Sorry. Introducing you to the panel for session on myths and realities of SME IPO. We have already introduced Sri Brijesh Parekh ji, who is also gracing us for the panel discussion. To introduce our moderator for the session, Sri K.K. Maheshwari ji. He is the Managing Director and Chairman of CIL Securities. He is also the Managing Committee member of FTCCI and Chair of Capital Markets and Investor Protection Committee. He is having an extensive knowledge and experience in the capital markets for more than 3 decades. Our next speaker is Sri Jayesh Tauri ji, Associate Vice President of National Stock Exchange with a remarkable 16 years of experience. Mr. Tauri leads the SME platform, championing the listing of Indian SMEs on NSE Emerge since the inception. Mr. Tauri actively engages himself with various stakeholders, managing primary market relationships and contributing to the success of emerging ITP for startups. Now, let's welcome Sri B.V. Hari Prasad ji, the CEO of Wise Money. He is instrumental in advising the prospective SMEs to get on board for fundraising through SME IPOs. With a focus on strategic financial management, he guides business in optimizing their investment portfolios and capitalizing on diverse financial opportunities. Now I request moderator Shri Maheshwari ji to take the panel session ahead. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Kripa Nivas. Let us go through the session, and I would first request this question would be to Mr. Jayesh Tauri, and I would like him to brief all the people who are present over here about the prerequisites for coming out with SME IPO and a regular IPO. See, this is an SME conclave, so our thrust is going to be on SME conclave, but I would also like him to speak a little also on the main boards, because Hyderabad per se is coming out with large number of main boards IPO, and of course SME IPO is also there, and so I would like him to brief him about the eligibility criteria to go for an SME and a main IPO. Over to you, Tauri ji.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So first of all, just to set the context about the Emerge platform and what the capital market is all about. So we have started this NSE SME platform in the year 2012, where with the help of the regulator, we have framed the guideline for the small and medium enterprise to access the capital market. So before 2012, there was only opportunity for the SME to raise the funds either through the private equity funding or borrowing from friends, relative. And if the SMEs are having the collateral, then you have the option to go with the bank funding also. But till what time you guys will take the bank funding? There has to be some limit. One day collateral will exhaust. The interest will keep on rolling year on year till the time you are not repaying the loan. So this was the idea of launching the platform to allow the SME companies to come forward and raise the capital from the stock exchange. So here we have heard about MSME definition. As per that, the company will be either small, medium or large, depending upon their investment criteria and all. So SEBI regulator has kept it very simple. Any company who wants to access the equity capital market, their paid up capital, the post-issue paid up capital should be less than 25 crore. So here each and every company whose paid up capital is less than 25 crore can access this platform and list on the SME exchange. Stating that NSE has kept additional criteria. So according to the definition of regulator, each and every company is eligible. Even if you are opening up the store or Kirana store, you are eligible to come on the platform. But we didn't wanted that situation to happen because here the investor money is involved. So we have kept the additional criteria where we talk about there should be at least 3-year track record of the company. So we do consider the track record of proprietorship and the partnership firm also, because ultimately SME starts their journey from proprietor, moving to partnership and then going towards the private limited company. So there should be a proven track record for the 3 years, plus there should be 2-year operational revenue with operational profitability at least for 2 financial year out of 3 financial year. So previously we used to check for the 3-year financial year, but during the COVID time we have relaxed this norm. Instead of 3-year revenue and operational profit, we are telling to give the 2-year operational profit. And the third criteria is very simple, that is the positive net worth. So here we are not speaking about what kind of profitability is there in the company, what size of revenue is there in the company, how much minimum IPO size should become, because it depends upon company to company. But till date we have seen the company with the 10 crore revenue plus. We really don't comment on the profitability, but minimum issue size what we have seen in the NSE SME platform till date is 4 crore and maximum till date is 105 crores. So we have seen there are whatever the requirement is there of the SME companies, they have come forward according to their requirement which is required for them in the initial year of growth, maybe 1 year, 2 year down the line. And as and when they require more and more capital, there are different channels available for a listed company. Like there are various channels where they can do the preferential allotment, QIP placement, they can come up with the right issues. So there are various channels open to them to raise the capital.
Tauriji, I would like you to also brief the members about market making, the process of underwriting that is done, the minimum lot size that is required to trade on the SME platform, the market making concept that has been initiated at the exchange level, all this bringing liquidity to the investors who can buy and sell shares as they want. I want you to throw some light on this subject.
So in the previous question, like sir has asked us to brief about the main board also. So here the differentiation come between the SME platform and the main board platform. Like according to the NSE SME eligibility, 3-year profitability track record, proven track record, and the rest of the stuff is. But on the main board platform, when the company is planning to go on the main board platform, they required at least one of the condition is they required operational profitability of 15 CR for past 3 years. So if they are fulfilling that record, they are ready to go on the main board platform. But I believe many SMEs don't go in that range. That's why it's necessary for them to come for the SME IPO. So here comes the basic differentiation between the SME platform and the main board platform. So if the company is planning to go for the SME IPO, they need to file the offer document to the exchange, and exchange has been given power by the regulator to issue the in principle approval. But on the main board platform, you require the exchange approval also and the regulator approval also. The another new concept which has been introduced in the SME platform is on the lot size. Like when you guys are applying for the equity, like Maheshwari has asked in the starting of the session, who are the investor here, who apply in the IPOs also. So when you are applying in the main board platform or doing trading in the main board platform, you can trade it in the lot size of 1 share or multiple of 1 share. And if you want to apply in the IPO, its minimum lot size is of in the range of 10 to 15,000. But on the SME platform, the minimum lot size, whether you apply in the IPO or whether you apply in the main board platform, in the secondary market. So the minimum requirement is of 1 lakh rupees. So here this concept has been introduced ki the only informed investor should participate in the IPO of the SME companies, because one regulation, one change in the regulation can hamper the business and even grow the business of the SME company. Usually SMEs are typically a one-man army. So the promoter is the marketing head, the promoter is the CFO of the company, he takes care of day in day out administrative work also. But we always believe when you want to come forward and get listed on the platform, you need to create the think about the growth of the company. You need to, as a promoter, you need to think about the how to grow the business of the company, and the rest day-to-day routine work can be handled by the KMPs of the company. Additionally, 2 new concepts have been introduced, that is the underwriting and the market making. So underwriting, like on the main board platform, when the IPO is undersubscribed, though in this season we have not seen any IPO getting unsubscribed, but still if any IPO is getting undersubscribed, on the main board platform the company has the option to withdraw the offer. But on the SME platform, once the IPO is open up, mandatorily the IPO will get succeed. Even for example, if the IPO size is of 50 crore and the company has garnered 30 crore only, so it's the responsibility of the underwriter to underwrite the remaining portion of 20 crores. So no IPO will get fail when the SME company is planning to go public. Market making for 3 years. So this I will link with the last where we talk about the lot size of 1 lakh rupees. So here the new concept has been introduced to provide the liquidity in the market. So any NSE registered broker can become a market maker for a company who are coming on the SME IPO. Their role is like they have the mandatory, they need to invest in the company to the tune of 5% of the issue size. They need to invest in the company to the tune of 5% of the issue size. And the second is they need to provide the buy and sell code for the 75% of the market timings. Because here the investment is of 1 lakh rupees, so we always believe informed investor hai, 1 lakh rupees laga rahe hai, so they will invest in a company which they understand. Either they understand the promoter business and how the growth journey will be. So they usually are the long-term investor with the company. But there might be a situation where the investor wants to exit from the company, but no buyers are available. And there can be a situation where any investor wants to buy from the market, but there are no sellers available in the market. So to provide that liquidity in the market, this concept of market maker has been introduced, where officially he needs to be present in the market for the 75% of the market timing with the buy and sell code, so that the liquidity is been continued in the market. Another beauty of this platform is like when the company goes on the main board, but obviously they will be getting listed on the main board platform only. But for the SME companies, that's the criteria of migration which has been introduced. So once the company has been listed on the SME platform, they have the option, after fulfilling the eligibility criteria, they have the option to migrate on the main board platform. So once the company migrate from SME to the main board platform, this lot size of 1 lakh rupees will be reduced to a single share. So for example, if the SME is trading for 50 rupees, the lot might be of 3,000 share, which total amounts to 1,50,000. But the moment this company moves to the main board, now that 3,000 lot share will be breaked into one share. Now the buy and sell can happen in a single shares.
Is it required that a merchant banker is also required to take a stake in an SME IPO at the time of going for a IPO, number one? Now, suppose the entrepreneur is not having an operating profit in 2 out of 3 years, can he still go for a SME IPO?
So till date, our criteria remains the same. If they are not fulfilling the main criteria, they will not be eligible. They need to wait for 1 more year, where hope so the profitability will come, and then only they can come forward. Because these are the basic eligibility criteria. Sharing the second option, I don't think merchant banker has the right to invest in the company during the IPO. But yeah, if he is registered as an underwriter, he might be the underwriter to the issue, but I guess to the broking entity, not in his entity. So merchant banker are not allowed to invest in the IPO in which they are coming out.
I think it is the merchant banker has to underwrite at least 15% of the issue that is coming out.
If the issue is undersubscribed, then they have the responsibility to take only 15%, and remaining 85% will be done by the other underwriters. So that's the official, but they can't apply in the IPO. If the IPO is undersubscribed, then only they will be able to subscribe to the undersubscribed portion to the tune of minimum 15%.
And in terms of compliances that are required to be done with the stock exchange for an SME and for a regular IPO, what is the difference if?
सर ये यहाँ पे जितने SMEs बैठे हैं उनके दिमाग में सबसे पहले क्वेश्चन यही आएगा, अगर मैं लिस्ट होगा तो my compliances will go like they need to do the compliances more rather than which they were doing as a private limited company. But believe me, we have in the next panel, I guess we have the listed entities where you can hear from their mouth only ki what compliances or what change they have seen once they get listed on the platform. But just to give the overview, we as a SME, as a private limited company, we are already doing the compliances because it's as per the Companies Act. The same has been replicated in the ICDF format, but now certain guidelines has been given. You need to do the board meetings on a quarterly basis, you need to intimate to the market, the shareholding of the companies, the secretarial audit report, and so and so. But one of the major change what we have seen in comparison to the main board is, like on the main board platform, you are seeing the quarterly financial audited been published in the newspaper. and the company needs to disseminate that information on the company's website and the exchange website. But here the leeway has been given to the SME company. Instead of giving the quarterly financial audited numbers, you need to provide the half-yearly audited numbers, and that too no need to publish it in the newspaper. You need to only disseminate that information on the company's website and to the exchange website. Because here we have seen there's somehow the limitation in the investor number in comparison to the main board. Usually we have seen the main board IPOs are in the range of more than 300 and 400 crore. So we have seen the number of investor on the main board is quite large. So to reach out to the n number of investor, this criteria was framed of the quarterly result number, publishing in the newspaper so that the information is available to all the investor. But on the SME platform, we have seen there are limitation in the number of investor. So SEBI has given them the relaxation and not to be costlier affair for the day-to-day operation to the SMEs. But believe me, stating this, some of the SME companies have by default taken the decision, and instead of giving the half-yearly result, they are continuously providing the quarterly results. Because now we have seen lot of investors have come in the form of QIB and FIIs. So they are happy with the quarterly disclosure. So it's a suo moto, the company has opted the quarterly result. But it's up to the company how they want to disclose the results.
Yeah, last question to you. I think we have had in 2023 there were 169 SME IPOs which have got listed. Just for the information of all who are present over here, how many of these IPOs have listed with a premium? Are there any IPOs which have listed on a discount? And what is the present status of companies that have got listed in 2023? A rough ballpark, a rough idea.
Sure. So this has been journey of our NSE SME platform, where currently 402 companies have got listed on the platform with the fundraising of approx 8,000 crore rupees. And recently in November month, the market cap of this company have crossed 1 lakh crore. So that's the amount of valuation which has been given by the investor to this SME companies. So if you will see in this financial year, we have already listed 91, now it's 92 companies with the fundraising of approx 2,900 crores on this platform. I will be showing the interesting slide with you. So we have the NSE Emerge Thematical Index where we track the companies who are showing the performance, and there's some criteria to be part of this index. Currently 166 companies are been concentrated on this NSE Emerge index, and if you will see the return which has been given by this SME companies is 40%, if you will see since inception. So almost if you would have invested, I will not comment on the amount terms, but yeah, you will get the return of at least 40% here, what we have seen on the market. And if you will see on your left side of the pie chart, you will see there are almost 21 to 22 sector, various manufacturing, service-oriented companies which have come forward and got listed. Believe me, even when we study the business chapter of that companies, even we are surprised that such kind of business are being done. Because that kind of businesses we have not seen on the main board platform. But these companies are providing their service to the main board platform so to complete their projects. So we have seen n number of SMEs who are supplying to the companies who are already in the big board or who are on verge of listing over there, or maybe long enough, their profitability is too long, they are eligible for the main board and they are supplying their products to the big companies.
Thank you very much, Jayesh Tauri. And then we'll move on to Mr. Brajesh Parekh. He is the director at Unistone Capital Private Limited. They are successfully handling a lot of SME IPOs and also regular IPOs. They also do pre-IPO investments and post-IPO investments. They also handhold the entrepreneurs pre-IPO and post-IPO. And from Brajesh Parekh, I would like him to inform all the members who are present over here the role of a merchant banker and factors to check eligibility of the client to go for a public issue. Mr. Tauri has said what is the minimum requirement to go for a public issue, especially an SME IPO. But what is it that a merchant banker looks at in his client's balance sheet before he recommends, yes, I am willing to take your company for an IPO and successfully list your company and raise the capital? Over to you, Mr. Brajesh.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, so in India, being fourth largest economy, we have millions of entrepreneurs, whether at individual level, partnership, LLP, private limited or limited. But I believe there are hardly 6,000 companies listed on the bourses, NSE and BSE. So I don't know why entrepreneurs are not coming to list, or they are missing from this awareness. So when we meet the promoter, they are in so much doubt and worry about what will happen to me. My business will be exposed, I will be exposed, I need to do lots of compliances, there will be huge increase in the cost. But when any successful entrepreneur is doing business, so they directly, indirectly complying all the statutory norms, Companies Act, accounting standards, etc. And when they are taking loans from the banks or NBFCs or any lender, so they have to be well complied. Otherwise, this institution will not lend. So after meeting them, we guide them about eligibility criteria of NSE, BSE, main board, SME. Segment is the most important part here. Traditionally textile, metals, etc. with low GP margin is considered not very attractive in the market. So we need to guide them about everything, about how the segment is valued, their company can be valued, etc. After guiding them, when promoter is ready for the IPO, we also make them explain about the half-yearly disclosure, shareholding pattern, financial, appointment of company secretary, CFO. So these are the basic things now. Then we explain about the valuation. As I told, segment multiple as well as their peers multiples are very much important. Sometimes promoter come with some doubts that this XYZ company is listing at this multiple, and so I should deserve that. So we need to explain their scalability, their expansion, then margins are better, and why you are different. So you are SME company, so you need to give some discount to the investor. So these are the things we need to explain them. After, when we mutually agree, so we guide them about the draft prospectus drafting. So helping them with the business model, formation of the committee. A promoter needs to provide 3 years restated and stub period if required. So audited, restated as per the format given by the SEBI. Then about industry report, risk factor, and the key is the object of the issue. So we need to guide them about the what's the expansion plan, and accordingly we form the object and restated financial and object of the issue in business. It's almost 65-75% of the document. So after drafting, we need to file with the stock exchange. stock exchange will raise the query we need to answer. So this entire due diligence drafting, as well as to comply with the stock exchange, the process is around 3 to 4 months time. Then filing of the RHP with ROC and listing is the remaining around 25 to 30 days process.
You want to know at what stage you identify an anchor investor, and do you have an anchor investor for each SME IPO that you are bringing in, or at what time do you want an anchor investor to step in to ensure that to hold hand with the SME, to guide the SME till such time it is mature to get into the main boards?
Yeah. So after the first lockdown, when capital market was almost corrected globally, it's around 30 to 45%. Suddenly we have seen drastic rally, and first time that was broad-based rally, that we have seen huge IPO, primary offering from main board as well as SMEs. So in 2023, we have seen surprisingly very good response from the institution investor. So only institution investor can be anchor in the IPO, in SME. So now lots of inquiry after seeing the response in SME segment, the returns. Many good companies were and are there, but prior to 2012, there was no IPO market for the small companies, growing companies. As Apna Jayeshji told that we have seen IPO of around 4 crore also. So that kind of facility is provided only in SME regulation. SME regulation come in 2012, yeah. So sir, now we have seen in every IPO there are some curiosity and some inquiry from the institution investor. Generally, when you file DRHP, you started getting response from the large as well as institution investor, good family offices about their interest. And based on the past performance of the merchant banker, yes, they are definitely keen to work with the merchant banker. And see, earlier the market rally was not really very broad based. As Apna Farooq ji told that company got listed only with around 27 or 30 crore maybe, and right now it is emerged as one of the best blue chip company. So at that time, I think so RMN was your broker, merchant banker. So at that time, yeah, so Vivro, yeah, and so at that time I really worried that company has good ROC, good ROE, good margin and growing at more than 50%, and then why stock is available so cheap? So my forte is always to invest in good tiny micro cap company managing proprietary fund. So at that time, large investor, including my entrepreneurs, told me that खाली आपको ही KPI सस्ता लगता है, बाकी बाजार में किसको समझ में नहीं आता है. So we are investing from that time and we have made very good money. हमको लगा KPI में 15 times हो गया, अभी और आगे क्या होगा. So we have seen multifold rally. So now sir, investor, whether retail, HNI or anchor institution, they all have very deep understanding, deep conviction, and their holding powers have also increased drastically. So this is really very, very big broad-based rally.
I just remember I was talking to Utpal. I think he is the right man of Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, At that time we were just talking, Akasa Airlines is going public, has started their operation. And when are you going public? He says, we are not in a hurry to go public. We will first perform, we'll stabilize our business, we'll create a valuation, and then we'll go public. Everybody over here who have assembled over here would want to raise capital. Well, everybody wants to do that, and that is, that's why we are all over here. So, but at what valuation? Suppose I have a company and the value of the share is 10 rupees. Whether can I ask 200 rupees or can I give it at 10 rupees? If I give it at 10 rupees, I'm at a steep loss. And if I give it at 200 rupees, nobody is going to buy my shares. So as a merchant banker, what are the criteria that you look into in terms of PE multiples, in terms of earning per share, in terms of book value, in terms of enterprise value, before you determine at what price you are going to bring the issue into the capital market?
I think so. That's the most logical and curious for everyone, the valuation. See, generally valuation is decided on enterprise value consisting of equity value plus their debt, less their current investment and liquid investment. So your equity value of the organization is very, very important. When your paid up capital is very small, so when you divide your entire equity value per share, so when your equity base is low, your per share value will come very high. So we are doing lots of pre-IPO. So promoter started with some XYZ amount, very small amount of 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 50 lakhs. And they have accumulated net worth also, reserve and surplus, share premium, etc. But they are not issuing the bonus because they don't need to issue bonus to themselves. So we have invested in companies with per share value of 45,000 rupees per share, sometime 9,000 rupees share, because their equity base is very less. So here important is to fix your valuation of your business. Then depending upon your equity base, per share price value will change or vary from company to company. So generally, to stabilize or to come to realistic valuation, every company generally gives bonus to the existing shareholder so that their equity base will increase, so that the share price look realistic to the investor. Now suppose if I bring IPO at 35,000 rupees per share, so investor will not look at only कि वो बोलेगा इतना ज़्यादा महंगा share है. So it's always it's like exchanging 10 notes of 200 against the 2,000 rupees note. अगर मैं 10 रुपये का आपको मैं बंडल दूंगा तो it looks bigger के चलो ज़्यादा, एक नोट 2,000 का दिखता है. So ऐसा. So it's like determining valuation of the organization is very important. Now again, valuation will depend upon segment to segment multiple. Like consumer companies, all whether in food processing like Hindustan Lever, Nestle, or in building material, where their overall margins are very high, they are little bit asset light. Main thing is their working capital. They are enjoying negative working capital because they generally get first money from the distributor, then they distribute, then they sell. So their multiple depend upon promoter, predicate, etc. The multiple of the segment will be decided. Then depending upon your size and scalability, your expansion, existing capacity, your GP margin, NP margin, your multiple will be decided. Now sir, surprisingly there are lots of solar players are coming to us suddenly, that now KPI is available at 25 times, 30 times, so we need that kind of multiple. So today morning only negotiated with one Rajkot based company. So they are ke KPI bhi hamara Gujarat ka hi hai, so we need that kind of multiple. but they are hardly having even profit. So on the top line of 100 crore, posting 5 crore of net profit and asking for 30 times of the profit. Okay, yeah. So generally, segment to segment, company to company, margin to margin, promoter pedigree, multiple will be decided. But of course, as a SME, now here we are, we have the finest case of Bondana. So unbelievable. They give very, very cheap valuation. It's always favorable for the investor. So always like peer company, promoter should give at least 15 to 20% discount from the existing peers.
$15 to 20% discount from the existing peers. Maybe that is the reason for high listing gains that we are able to see when people are going public. Now, see, 20% is the minimum promoter's capital that is required to be brought for an SME IPO. But at what level does the merchant banker feel he is comfortable? He wants the promoter to be holding 40%, 50%, 60% of the promoter's holding to ensure that, it also gives confidence to the public investors, public shareholders to be investing. So what is the level of promoters holding that a merchant banker is looking when there is an SME IPO? And does an exposure to the bank in terms of working capital, in terms of loan that he has taken, also helpful to give confidence to the general public that this is a going concern, not a fly-by-night operator, and they should invest in this company?
Yeah. So, sir, in past 30 months after obtaining the license, we raised around 900 crore in 6 main board IPO as well as nearly 8 to 9 SMEs IPO. Further raising around 1,000 crore in next 45 days time. So in our all company, generally we prefer to have at least 70% promoter holding, because if SME level, if they are diluting more, then we really worry about their confidence on the business. So sir, we have seen all the companies like Infosys, Laurus Laboratory, large companies, they Page Industry, they diluted very slowly and gradually after their expansion. Otherwise, we prefer to have, minimum dilution is approximately 26.5% in SME and 25% in main board. So we prefer to have nearby dilution in that range, which shows the confidence of the promoter.
What about bank exposure? You look at working capital loan that has been taken by the promoter, by the company. Is that also a factor that is considered, that there is a bank loan that has been taken, there is a working capital loan taken, so a confidence is built with the shareholder that yes, the books of accounts have been also appraised by a banker?
So see, when we are raising funds in SME, so their debt equity ratio will improve, and it's also logical to have at least 0.5 or 0.75 of debt equity ratio. See, suddenly there is a feel that our company should be debt free, but when you are growing about 10 to 15% of, so it's sensible to have some debt. So, sir, we like to have some debt because of it's a combination. See, equity is always very costly option. When you are getting debt at 8 to 9%, so you should have debt in combination of right debt and right equity. Of course, we don't prefer to do companies having debt equity ratio above 1.5. So after IPO, I think so that debt equity ratio will be balanced, and that's the right combination also, sir. And generally, sir, if you see in main board, when you are approaching to all the mature investor, institution and large investor, they don't prefer that with this IPO money you are repaying loan of nearly 8 to 9%.
Yeah, the last question to you is the number of SME IPOs that you have handled. the growth in the SME IPOs that you have handled in terms of at what price, at what valuation you have been able to get the IPO for the company, and what is the present share price and value. If you can brief the members, this will be helpful.
We have handled 6 main and nearly 8 to 9 SMEs IPO. I think so jointly all are giving average return of 30% plus. It's 30% plus. And sir, currently also filing nearly 8 to 10 IPO in next 2 months time with NSE emerge. And all are, see, because of sir क्या होता है in current market frenzy, promoters expectation about valuation is increasing. That this company is available, but we are approaching, and since sir, as I mentioned that we are doing lots of hand holding and trying to place shares. Of course, we don't have control on the IPO subscription, but generally we have long-term investor support. So on listing, they try to absorb and hold for 3 to 5 years. So we believe in long-term story and trying to deliver similar kind of growth.
Yeah. Is there any way that you can ensure that we do not have to dig the pockets of the underwriters and the issue is fully subscribed? Is it fully tied up by the time you go for the IPO? There are some loose end left. We leave it to the faith of the investors to subscribe for the IPO or not to subscribe for the IPO.
No, sir. Generally, SME or main board, we have hardly seen any devolvement, especially in SME. In main board, we have seen devolvement, but SME is a SME. We have to be very careful before opening of the IPO. And generally, when we are planning to open IPO of 50 crore, so we should have at least commitment of 100 crore, because earlier, as I mentioned. This stock market rally in last 30 months is truly amazing. Otherwise, market was very haphazard earlier. And we have seen when we gave the statutory advertisement, and by that time Nifty corrected or the Sensex corrected 15-20%. And suddenly all these investors disappear because they are getting already listed companies at attractive valuation. So we have to have very, very strong arrangement, otherwise it's very difficult. But nowadays, sir, it's very fancy. As I mentioned now, before 2020, when Rakesh Jhunjhunwala used to shout that you please invest into Indian story, it's very good. He has invested in company called Concord Bio at 30 crore of value in 2004. When IPO came, I think so nearly 3-4 months ago, valuation came to 10,000. So even at that valuation, he did not offload any in OFS. So right now we have that kind of maturity and that kind of pockets that nowadays this devolvement is hardly any risk of devolvement.
Final question to you. Presuming the size of an SME IPO is 25 crores, what is the cost to the promoter? This is very important from the costing point. And presuming that the cost of a regular IPO is 100 crores, what is the cost for bringing a 100 crore IPO? If you can give a ballpark mark.
See now, in IPO, there are fixed costs of, say, NSE listing, printing of prospectus, statutory advertisement in Hindi, English and regional newspaper, cost of market maker we need to pay, brokerage, etc. So when your IPO size is less, so that costs look higher, and it's approximately 10% or maybe 12% on very higher side. And when your size is 100 crores, so that cost will come down to 5 to 6%.
What about the cost of market making?
Market making, sir, there are hardly, of course, hardly any cost because they need to keep one full-time person to manage the two-way quotes. Correct me, Jayesh, bhai, if I am wrong. Yeah, so that is, they are taking maybe 5 lakhs per annum. So now it's 3 years. So maybe 15 to 20 lakh rupees.
Is there also a concept that says your size of the issue is 25 crores, 10% is 2.5 crores, my cost is 2.5 crores for the bringing the IPO, including market making for 3 years?
See, earlier market maker was not very keen and means very, very limited player. But due to equity boom, especially in SME, now market makers, they themselves are ready to take even for free also. So they are taking, okay, and market maker also understand the segment. So when your segment and your financial valuations are proper, so they are not demanding higher fees.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Mr.
much, sir, for providing this opportunity.
And I'll now come down to...
Sir, before you move on to Prasad, sir, just would like to add one thing. Sir was emphasizing on the question of investor return. So believe me, here the crowd is of SME. Even if your share price goes down, you need not be worried. Like even Farooq Bhai will tell you how he has shown the journey, how he has shown the growth, and according to the growth of the company, the market capitalization has been created. It's not from the day one your company will see the creation of the market cap. So we need to be very careful. We are into the business, we need to see the growth of the company, and as an entrepreneur, you need not see your share price and your market cap valuation. It will be beyond the, once you move on the bigger platform, maybe that time it's the story building, but at the initial level, yes, growth is very important for the SME companies.
Yeah, I would put these questions to Hari Prasad. What do you see are the benefits of listing, and how does a listing create valuation to a company?
Good evening to all entrepreneurs. I want to read one famous quote of Mr. Anand Mahindra. We should start calling actors as entertainers and our entrepreneurs as heroes for next generation to know the actual meaning of heroes. So all are here, who are attended here, all entrepreneurs are real heroes. So one of the main objectives is to raise the capital per market. But capital is one of the main raw material to any business. Initially, entrepreneur will start capital with his own capital. Once that capital is not enough, he will approach the banker to raise the money. Banker having their limitation to give the loan to company. Once that limitation crosses, banker also helpless to support the company. Even though company promoter is very good, company doing very well, he is not help to promoter. So in that case, there is a good opportunity to develop the business, to enhance the business. Then what is the source of the capital? So promoter can access to venture capital. So venture capital, to convince venture capital is not an easy thing. Because they are very highly professional people and they try to get more returns through investment. They try to get the more benefit than a promoter. And since they are very highly qualified to convince the venture capital, very not easy task. Same thing, in private equity also, they are one of the opportunity to raise the capital. That is same thing, they can't, will not get more benefit and they will take more benefit. So another opportunity is the IPO. IPO, you can to convince the investor to by giving the fair valued company, it's easy to access the IPO. These are one of the main advantage. When you compare with, this is the best option, compare with venture capital and private equity. And the second benefit is wealth creation. So you can see the three people here already SME listed, but three real heroes. I can say Aparup Bhai is there. I can say is the superstar of the today this meeting. So when he started initially IPO, it's only around 130 crores in 2016. Now his company, his group valuation is more than 5,000 crores. The real live example how can create the wealth creation. Similarly, Bonar Engineering, they came with published August 18th. They listed August 30th. The issue price is around 75 rupees. Very first day, they listed 149. I also prepared a report. I expected it may go up to 150 within 1 year. But very first day, it reached, it doubled very first day. And after, within 3 months, it from 149, the highest touched 480 rupees. Means almost I crossed 130 crores valuation to 1,000 crores. Within 3 months happened. These are power of the stock market. Only through stock market one can create the wealth. Before publish Bonar Engineering net worth, generally company valuation will see the share capital plus reserve. Together is around 78 crores. So overall can say around 78 crores or maximum 100 crores of the company wealth. But today, after coming the publish, within 3 months, company valuation gone up to cross around 1,000 crores. Okay, now it is came down to price around 400 to 420, but it crossed 480 rupees. These are best example is Bonar Engineering or KPI Green or Srivari also, I don't know much in details. Also they also got good health. So through stock market only, we can create the wealth of all stakeholders, in promoters, investors, in including your employees also. This is one of the main benefit of SME IPO. Third benefit, you can increase the borrowing capital. Once initially, by bank having the limitation to give the borrower to money to company. Once you increase the capital, as per capital ratio, debt ratio, and depends on sector, bank also can increase their loan to company. That is the third benefit. And fourth one is attracting the talent employees. So once we come with publish, you can now attract the talent to people. So we are very talented people. Generally, they try to approach the listed companies. And if you want to retain the employees also to motivate this, once listed, then only we can sell the shares in market. So to attract employees, the best option is the IPO is one of the good benefit. Another benefit is the personal fundraising. So in case of any case of emergency, promoter having any finance problems, he can raise by pledging the shares, his own shares to in bank. He can raise the personal fund. Merger and acquisition opportunities, the strategic growth. When we go, there is good opportunity for mergers, acquisitions. At the time of merger acquisitions, so valuation is the main important. So when it's listed share, so it is already market driven valuation we can see. So that same valuation merger is a good opportunity. And the strategic growth is there. And corporate enhance corporate governance and reporting. So once listed shares, they have to follow the CB norms or stock exchange norms. So everybody, the corporate governance means because of that, the trust will increase among the public and who are dealing with the company. access to research. Generally, when one's list company, research analyst people, they approach the company, they prepare the report on companies. That report we can access anyone, any investor before going to invest in that company. Another main advantage is exit plan and succession plan. And in case of promoters, so there are different directors are there, and family members will be there. Once they want to exit from a company, so through valuation, market valuation, they can exit or somebody can enter. And in case succession point of view, it's easy once we list company to value the company, to come out from succession plan, we can implement easily once we come with the public issue. These are the general advantages of the public issue. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think a listed company brings a lot of credibility to the institution, and here when the cost is very high to retain manpower, it also helps when you are able, when your company is doing well, to also issue ESOPs to ensure that talent is retained with you. Many benefits that you have of a listed company. So with this, we close the panel discussion, and then we move on to Q&A session. We have experienced merchant banker with us, and very senior people from the exchange side, and investment advisors over here in the panel. And I shall request for any questions from the audience so that we can answer that. Can you rotate the mic? 1 minute. You can give the name of the person whom you want to answer the question.
Hi, my name is Jadhav. I'm a serial entrepreneur. My question to Brijesh Bhai is, my name is Jadhav. I'm an entrepreneur. My question to Brijesh Parekh ji, you talked about the valuation, in terms of the SME IPO. When it comes to a startup, when we want to raise the equity, generally, the equity is raised irrespective of the loss of the company, because based on a technology, based on an idea. But how much is the valuation as far as the SME IPO is concerned? Is the profitability, NP and gross profit also create, what is that kind of a importance as far as the profitability of the company is concerned, apart from the revenue? Because in startup, generally the equity investment doesn't really matter, how much profit you are making. So I'm trying to understand the importance of the, from a, private equity from a startup point of view and from a SME perspective.
So all the successful startups have been formed by reputed and well-qualified, experienced promoter. They are maybe IIT and IIMs or well-experienced from their past organization. So generally all these startups have been done in fintech or all this digital platform, etc., where initially you don't have any profitability but only revenue. So based on the promoter pedigree, they are getting valuation of DCF, discounted cash flow, or maybe on sales multiple or on the future projection. SME itself is sitting about 1 or 2 steps ahead from the startup. So when you are developed from the startup, when you turned out the profitable, after having 3 years of experience, formation, and 2 years of profitability, then only you will able to raise the fund. So startup is the different ball game only. And see, there was lots of euphoria in startup, and we have seen around 90% of startup got bust. So I read somewhere that it got bust. While SME, since you have profitable, since you have worked for 3 to 5 years of time, so now you are eligible, means you are already a mature company, mature level. So then you are getting valuation as per your peers.
Good evening. This is Sridhar. I'm a practicing chartered accountant. So we keep getting a lot of inquiries on rising funds. So one of the best way to handle it is to go to the market. Now people would ask a question, what is the right time to go to the market? At what stage I should really approach? Is it based on the market I should react it, or based on my numbers I should react it? So probably you can throw some light around it.
So as I stated earlier, that there is always right time. आप देखोगे कि in 1992 Infosys got listed. It was devolved, but they got listed. So it's depend upon need of the money of the promoter, that when you want, and it's depend upon how much you are comfortable from bank, institution, friend, families. And we have also discussed about benefit of the listing. So listing gives always very good brand building. So always, and Dhirubhai also stated, Dhirubhai Ambani, when you are getting money, so you should get from the market. You should tap from the market. And we have seen all these large organization, Tata Group, Birla Group, Reliance, Adani, they always tap equity for the right. So at that time, if they would have been known that Nifty will be 20,000, so no one would have raised money. Raising equity will always, and see, many chartered accountants, many advisors, many promoters, that after this, after our bank funding or internal funding, we may grow, and at that time we should tap the market. But you don't know at that time what will be the valuation. And we have seen, like, see, in broking house, financial services, when Nifty was 6,000 to 7,000, that companies were available at higher valuation. Now Nifty is 20,000, and reputed organization like Motilal Oswal is available at 10 to 12 times of the profit. So you never know that after 10 years or after 5 years, what will be the valuation of your segment.
Okay, the conclusion what you say is look at the market and go for it.
Yeah, and see, generally we guide our promoter that if you want more money, so we have done few IPO, large IPO, even with a thin profitability. So we ask them to go for the quick expansion. See, you should tap the market, because now promoters' aggressiveness has increased drastically. So when you are waiting for the right time, right valuation, so someone will take your opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Just one more question. In the startups, we know close to maybe 2 to 3% is success rate. But in SME IPOs, I'm sure, I think Jayesh must have handled more than 400, what you said on NSC. What is the success rate of these SMEs on the market? What percentage of SMEs are really see a success in it?
So we have seen all the companies on the positive side only. But out of the 402 companies listed, we have seen 138 companies have migrated on the main board platform. And the valuation has always been growing for the SMEs. So it will be really tough to answer on what basis success is depending upon. And just to add what Brijesh ji has told on your question about what's the right time. So we usually believe, like looking at the example of KPI Green, what do you think as a chartered accountant will be a right time for him to go for the IPO? At the market cap of 100 crore or at the market cap of 5,000 crore? So it's always the decision key for the SME. See, we have seen the main board platform where the IPOs get deferred on the timeline because of the market scenario, because they are raising the fund of 500 crore, 1,000 crore and 2,000 crore plus. So that's the drastic change in the valuation because the market have come down. But for the SME companies, the amount which they are raising has nothing to do with the Nifty going down or up or anything, market going up or down. Because investors here are available and the requirement of the SME company is much more lesser when it compares to the main board platform. I don't think so for a 50 crore IPO, the Nifty, whether it's 200 points down or up will matter for the investor to invest in a company, because he is entering into a company for a growth, and the SME valuation will drastically change. Because with the small infusion of the fund, the company can double their turnover, triple their turnover, and their visibility increases, so business opportunity also increases. It's not only the valuation, but the valuation will depend upon the business growth also. So we believe it's always the right time for the SME, but yeah, for the main board companies, there might be a valuation challenge, so IPO may be deferred for some time when the markets are down, but not in the case of SME.
See, Astral Pipe, CPVC, they are the creator. So it got listed at around 400 crore of market cap in 2006. Right now market cap is around 45,000. Same is the case of Page Industry, who are the manufacturer for jockey brands. So they got listed at 700 crore market cap, and right now it's around 45,000 crore. So maybe with that kind of equity infusion at that time, bank would have been, bank may be provided with higher money. So with that combination, that company have grown at that level. So rather than holding 100% in small company, it's better to have good majority in large company.
Yeah, we are out of time. So what we will do is we will restrict to 3 more questions, which will be followed by tea, and then you can catch up with the panelists over here to talk to them, and they are all available for dinner also. You can catch up with them. So we go through the last 3 questions, one from you, and madam, we will take the next question from you, and the third question from him. Okay, and with that, we close this session. Please.
Yeah. It's a great forum. Thank you for the opportunity to listen to the... Hello. Yeah. Yep. It's a great forum, and I see a lot of good intellects meeting together. My question is like, I always believe on customer success kind of a thing. So from past 5 years, we are doing business, and we are making happy for more than 40 plus customers. Now, whenever we want money, instead of running bank, I try to go to customers and make money out of it. So that's my concept and everything. Now, there are some bigger ideas and all other things, but I don't want to lose my time on working and raising capital with some paperwork and all other things. Is there any other way I can leverage the services?
Yeah, I guess your question is, you want to go for raising of the funds?
Yes.
And you want to outsource that activity to somebody.
Yes.
So to go in a public market, you require a category 1 registered merchant banker. So they have been authorized by the regulator to prepare the offer document, to submit, to raise the capital from the market. So you need to have a mandate with them, and then you can move ahead. But yeah, talking about the paperwork, yes, you need to delegate your team members who can provide that papers to the merchant banker for the preparation of the offer document.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Second question.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sarita Chilakapati. I'm a co-founder of a manufacturing company where we manufacture metal powders, and the application is into various segments from automobiles to surface coatings and all. So I have 2 questions now. One is to Parekh ji. How do you do the valuation when you don't have a peer industry? Second question that I have is to Mr. Jayesh. See, post IPO. So once you're into the IPO, you've had some historic financials and all, and of course you have a projections. Imagine for whatever situation, say for instance, take COVID. The next 3 years you're not able to perform. What would be the scenario?
Okay. So I will address the second question first. So, ma'am, firstly, when you prepare the offer document and you submit it to the exchange, that's one guideline as per the ICDR regulation, where only the historical performance needs to be given as a paperwork. You can't give the projection. And in the offer document, there are various risk factors covering this kind of incident. Though before 2019, nobody was knowing about the pandemic situation. But now if you will see the offer document, everybody covers the pandemic plus any unforeseen measure, unforeseen circumstances coming out. So see, if the company is not performing, there might be chances your share price will not go up or it may fall down. But it doesn't stop the company from working. So if you are performing, but obvious the market cap will increase. If you are not able to perform, maybe your stock prices are stable or it's below the issue price. But nobody will stop you from working. So every graph has a up and down scenario. So sometime it's only on the plus side, but it may come down. Even if we talk about the Nifty index, what the prime index is, it has shown the upward movement also and the downward movements. But the people are trading. It doesn't stop them from trading in the market. So in the same way, you need to continue with your business plan. There are companies who are not able to perform on that performance level, but it's fine. Nobody is stopping you till the time you are complying the things, you are making it, you are continue to running the show.
Last question from you.
One second. Madam, please come again with your product. Metal powder. So you are doing coating for them? Okay. Yeah, and you are supplying to OEMs directly? Yeah. So madam, in that case, your GP margin, gross profit margin is very, very important. See, this is the only lots of fancies in the capital market when all these SMEs players, depending upon their merchant banker and valuation, able to do. But when this company is growing like KP level, so at that time when you have large investor coming, so your gross profit margin is very, very important. Gross profit margin is the key. You may be having more debt, recent expansion, so depreciation, etc. So that will be dragging down your EBITDA or maybe a net profit level. But when you are good GP margin above 30%, so that is a good, and you get at least nowadays at least in between 15 to 20 times. See, depending upon promoter pedigree, their second generation involvement, your setup, your facilities, etc., how old they are, you have sufficient land for next line of expansion. So this is like a real valuation part, your KMPs, how they are old. So which shows your quality of the promoter, approach of the promoter, your customer pedigree, etc.
I think that's very clear, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Good evening, everyone. This is Suman Saraf, MD of Radha TMT from Hyderabad. My question to Jayesh ji is, what is this market making concept in SME that you were talking about, and who gives the double quote? My second question is, how do you migrate from SME platform to the main board? Is there a time frame, or is profitability a criteria?
Suman, you qualified to go to the main board directly.
I know.
So if it is a question, we'll answer that. But you qualify for the main board directly with a good valuation.
So, but believe me, there are many companies who are qualifying for the main board, but coming on the SME platform also. But yeah, stating to your first question, market making, so they are the registered broker of the exchange. So any stock broker can be a market maker for you, and his role is to present with the buy and sell quote for your stock for the 75% of the day's time. So he provides the liquidity in the market. In the current scenario, we are already seeing the liquidity where the investors are coming and trading on the platform. But sometime it happens the session has dried up. There's no buyer and seller. So at least for the active participation, the market maker are available. So they need to get registered on the exchange, and there is a particular market maker. So we have the system where for your particular script, this is the only market maker to the issue. So he's been only authorized to provide the market maker code for your company.
So does the promoter have a role in?
No role.
And what does a market maker earn by giving quotes? I mean, there are certain shares in the SME sector which are, I mean, the quotes are, the volumes are very low.
The volume are very low. That's why the market maker concept is there. So they can't do the trading between themselves. So there has to be investor at the other end, and they will just provide the code. So if any order matching happens, so the trade will get executed. And coming to your second question on the migration criteria, yeah, we do have the migration criteria in place in terms of the profitability of the company, in terms of number of shareholders in the company, and the minimum migration period is 3 years. 3. Yeah, so you need to be on the platform for 3 years, because the main reason why we have kept that, you need to develop your company and then migrate on the main board. It's not really easy just to start the compliances. There are a lot of compliances, relaxation given to the SME companies. But the moment they migrate on the main board company, all the compliances of the main board starts pitching in. And the per day penalty, believe me, it will be, has minimum has 50,000 rupees for the non-compliances per day penalty. So we don't want the SME companies to go into that trauma. So we need them to take time, give the performance, give the growth journey, be stable, and then migrate on the main board platform.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think we'll
close it. If you are meeting all the criteria, is there any time relaxation to?
Yeah, all the 3 criteria needs to be met.
We are meeting. Suppose we are meeting, any time relaxation? There is no time.
No. Currently, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, panelists, for your presentation and for taking the questions from the audience. Thank you again.
Yeah, and just to summarize, see, there is benefit of listing, meeting daily at least 3 to 4 promoters, and surprisingly, they are getting inquiry from their overseas partner that your company should be listed now. So even overseas players also want their company to be listed, because listing gives good corporate governance practice. And also the most important point which I realize, that now second and third generation is not very much keen to join traditional business. So when you are listed, you have some wealth creation, you have some market capital size when you are raising the money from the public. पहले ऐसा था, rather वो अपना promoter used to do all this textile business, grey, dyeing, this, that. So when you are raising the fund from the market, you do some logical expansion with better margin. So second and third generation they are also joining the business. So it's always good that promoter as a family, they are expanding. Listing gives encouragement for the next generation. They are listed, they have some, it's not fancy, but giving good value.
Thank you very much for such a wonderful and insightful session. And now I request our Senior VP, Shri Suresh Kumar Singhal sir, and President sir, Meela Jaydev ji, to please come and hand over the token of appreciation to felicitate our esteemed. I request sir to please hand over the token of appreciation to Shri Brijesh ji. To Shri Jayesh Tauri ji. Now to BVH Prashad sir. can have a group photograph for the first session. We have with us our IPP immediate past president Shri Anil Kumar sir to please join us on the stage. RM CV Prasad sir and Kripa Nivas sir also to please join us on the stage. We'll disperse for a short tea break of around 10 minutes and kindly request everyone to be back quickly so that we can resume the concluding session thereafter.